Hello everyone, it's the Farmsim guy here, hope you're all doing well. We are going to address probably the question I've been asked the most over the last weekend around the Platinum DLC, and that is, can you cut the Redwoods down, and what can you do with the Redwoods? So, there we go, the giant sequoias that we have here. We are going to have a little bit of a deep dive and see what we can and we can't do with them. Now, they come in a number of different sizes. I think this one here, 28 meter, is the third stage of growth. 43.5 I think is the maximum they go. I've struggled to find one bigger than that, and I think there's a 37 and a bit sized one as well somewhere. Let's just see if we can find one here. I did see one, 43 again. I think this one might be... oh no, that one's out of the boundaries of the map. I'm sure I saw a 37 meter one. Anyway, you've got 28 meter, 37 and 43.5. So, with that in mind, let's chop down the biggest one we can. Now, I will say this, if you haven't got a modded chainsaw, I have yet to find a tool within the DLC that cuts down these. What I've got here is a chainsaw with the maximum diameter adjusted on it. I'm sure we'll see a few of these coming out from the modding community quite quickly, because everyone seems desperate to chop these down, even though they're a protected tree. Shame on you all. Anyway, that's exactly what we're going to do now, but as you can see, with the green ring, we can cut it down. And there it goes. And these are colossal. I am not joking when I say these are massive. If we go up to it now, it'll tell you 42 tons. And now 42 meters because we've left the stump in the ground. Now, as well as being able to strip the smaller branches, you do have to remove a lot of these from the side of them as well. My logging health and safety is shocking, I know. But you can strip these down and get this cut. None of the machines seem to work either. All the headers on them do not accommodate the width of the or the diameter of the tree, so you have to use a chainsaw. So far, like I said, I'm sure we'll see some modded stuff pretty quickly. So let's strip this down to its bare minimum. We should be able to get it onto a truck. Might have to manhandle it onto a truck, or we can use the big Volvo high lifter, which is the only piece of equipment I've tried that does work with this. So we'll strip this down and we'll come back when we're ready to stick it on the trailer. So there we go. There is our 42 meter length of tree, all stripped down. Now I'm going to have to take a bit of a guesstimate, and I might just reverse the truck alongside it to get the length right so we can get it onto the back of the truck. But we'll get this loaded up and we will run it down to the sawmill, and we'll show you why all of this effort is not worth it. So we'll take a cut just about here. That gives us a length that should go on the trailer. And let's roll the truck forward and let's try and just get a semi-sensible measurement on this. So I would say about here as well. Somewhere about here. It'll give us two lengths and a kind of half a length that we can add to the trailer. Now I'm going to go and get the high lifter because I want you to see that there is a vehicle in the expansion that allows you to pick these up, but it is the only one. So here we are, we have got the high lifter. Let's roll over, let's see if we can pick this up semi-centrally so that it doesn't hang down to one side. But we'll take this one first. Hopefully we can get this onto the truck without too much difficulty. But as you can see as well, the high lifter very much on the limit of the weight it can take as well. So it is a bit of an art form to manage it without... he says as he can't speak and control it. Trying to get things accurate. But there we go. Let's see what we can do with that. There we go, we had to give it a little bit of a helping hand on. Right, let's try our second piece now. Even though this is, I think, a little bit shorter than the first one, I actually think this might be too heavy for the high lift. So let's see. The back wheels could very well come off the ground here. Yeah, see, straight away. So what we can do, though, is rotate this back, bring it closer to the vehicle. And then that's redressed the balance slightly. But I think when we move about, we may be teetering on the edge of what is acceptable from a balance perspective. So what we'll do is line things up, and we'll maybe just reverse the truck underneath this rather than trying to move this too far. Look at that, right on the limit. So we'll reverse the truck under. Let's hopefully get it close as we can. Try something like that. There we go. Move out the way, let the car past. So we have got 2 of our 3 pieces of wood on here. What we're going to do now, we'll run this down to the sawmill and we'll get it unloaded. Latch it down. Just for clarity, the bottom piece is 14.5 tons, top piece 20.1 tons. So 34 tons of wood from one tree. We will run it down and I will show you, like I said before, I will show you why it's not worth it. So we are now at the sawmill. As you can see, active productions, we have nothing in there at the moment. So what we'll do, if we'll reverse in, it will tell us the amount of literage we will get from these 2 logs. So let's unlatch them. Let's float them out into the pond and see where we go with it. There's one in. Not even going to take the second one yet, because there it goes. So if we jump out now, go back up here, it's just given us 2,500 litres from 34 tons of wood. That's not a lot. That is not a lot. That's your penalty almost for cutting down the sequoias. It doesn't give you the volume of wood that you would expect. So there you go. There is the piece of wood that we left behind. Still a 5-ton piece of wood, right? So it's not a small tree. So we'll latch this up. We'll actually drop this into a container, I think, and sell it that way. Because again, I want you to see just how little you get for it. So we've got a 6-meter container here. So let's open this up. We'll trim this down to roughly 6 meters, and we will put it into the container. Right, we're doing the slight guesstimates now because we don't have a measuring tool installed. So that's one. Should get 3 of these in now. 5 tons of a normal tree, I think, would equate to probably about 50% of a container. Don't quote me on that. We need to do a test with a normal tree as well. But let's see what we've got here. So that's a slightly smaller piece, but that will impact on our selling volume. 5 tons in here. Look, didn't even show. In a 3.2. And if you go up to here, it's only 377 litres in there. So they've done everything they can to basically deter you from cutting down these redwoods. So we're going to fell another tree here, like so. And we're going to get another container, and we're going to try and drop a full tree in there and just see what sort of money we get for it, just so we know how much we're going to get paid. So a full tree, we know we saw that 5-ton version only gave us 377 litres. We've got a 39.2-ton tree here. So let's spawn one of the containers here and we'll give it a go. Right, let's grab this and see if we can get it into the container. There we go. The loaded log is the wrong length, so it's telling us it reduces the price. But what we've got in here, it's telling us in here, we've got 2,942 litres. So, let's grab our wheel loader. We'll go and grab that container and see what this sells for. So this is one redwood. Let's see what it sells for. So we've got our container. I have to squeeze it through the crossing here. But it's giving us 6% volume in the container. Squeeze it around the crossing there. Now if I drop this in over here, let's see what this gives us. $8,387 of wood. That's interesting. So even though it doesn't show up as massive amounts of literage, that's not bad. I mean, it's not comparative to the 42 tons that we put in, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Right, we have got a second 40-foot container. What I'm going to do now is try and fill this with 2,940 litres of a tree that we are allowed and supposed to cut down, and see what we'll get for that. Let's see what the money is like for that. There's a decent one there. Let's see what we can get for this if we cut it down. So this is a spruce, 35 metre spruce, so a big tree. Now, like I said, we are using super strength here just because really we're experimenting. So don't give me a hard time for not playing authentically while we sort this. Let's open the doors and get this in. I'm going to cut it down a little bit actually, so that we can make sure we get the same volume in. We don't want too much of this in. We want to try and match our 2,400 litres that we had. So actually, let's check this. This is a 2.1 ton piece, and this little bit we've cut at the top is 214 kilograms, so relatively small piece. Bear in mind that that sequoia that we put in was massive in terms of tonnage, 42 tons or something similar to that. So let's get this, let's try and drop it into the container. So 214 kilograms this piece. There we go, it is in. Like I said, I want to try and get us as close as possible to that 2,000 litres that we had before, so 1,200 there. I think we could probably go for this whole tree. I'm going to cut it into another piece just so we can try and keep things accurate. There we go, 2,498 litres. In fact, do you know what, I'm not going to put that in. I would say that's almost as close as we're going to get. So, from a 2.1 ton tree, spruce, we have put not the entire tree in, which has given us roughly our 2,490 litres of wood. So bear in mind, not a 40-ton tree, but a 2-ton tree. And we drop it in, and we get 8,644. So we get roughly the same amount of money, but from a 2-ton tree as we did from a 40-ton tree. So again, just proving that cost-effective wise, it isn't really worth doing with a redwood. Right, final test. We have got a 35 metre tree here, 39.8 tonnes. What I have done in the sawmill, I have emptied it completely, and we are only going to produce wood chips from it. So it will tell you how much you will get in terms of literage for wood chips by us dropping it into the pond. So let us do that. Take this, there it goes. Now what we'll have to do is switch on one of our productions for one of these 4 things here to produce wood chips. You don't get wood chips as a byproduct if you own the place. So let's do that. Let's skip forward time just a little bit. We've skipped forward a day there, sped up production, and if you jump in here, from that massive tree, all that we've produced is 81 litres of planks and 1 litre of wood chips. Again, just not cost effective. So, by all means, have some fun, cut them down, cut the biggest trees down you can, but you aren't going to get much in the way of rewards for them. So, I hope that was useful. I know a lot of people have been asking that question, but there you go. That was from just a little bit of playing around and seeing what you could do with it. That was the answers that I came up with. So, like I said, by all means cut them down if you want, but don't expect to get rich off it. That's all from me for now. Thank you very much for watching as always. Take care. Bye for now.